Your life was never a mistake. That's what you discover as you live your life and you keep discovering who you are as you move through your ascension process, as you become willing to move through all the barriers and the limitations. You begin to discover that your life was never a mistake. You start to understand that everything you experienced, all the events, all the situations were a part of a plan that was given to you to live. And then as you do that, you create this enormous amount of success and happiness and encouragement and belief in yourself. That's the process. There's no human that does anything different. It's just if we decide to do it. And I can say all this because I didn't always do that. It was frightening to take those steps into who I was supposed to become. It was little unbelievable to think that there was something within me that I was supposed to do that would be meaningful. And why did I have so many mistakes? Why did I have so many failures? Why did I move through so many difficult and challenging, horrible things in my life? It's because that's what I signed up for, obviously. But also, when you move through them, this miraculous thing starts to happen. You heal. You understand who you are. You live this incredible life, and then you can make a contribution to the world and to your siblings, your children, whoever might come before, because that's how all of this works. See, this is the story that I told when I went to do Beyond Belief with George Noory, because I said, I have the secret to having this great life, and anyone could have it. And the only thing that will happen is that they may not believe it. And I can say that because I didn't believe it either. It was shocking to discover what I had developed and what I had created. And I hid from myself for years. And that's the worst thing that you can do is to hide from yourself because you're afraid of who you might become, or you think you have this imposter syndrome that's going on. We each develop something in our lives that may be surprising. It was surprising to me. I never intended for my work that I'm doing now to be my life's purpose. I didn't know that. I was going about living my life, moving through things, many really challenging, difficult things. And every day I was receiving guidance, cosmic guidance from Wilhelm. And there was a synchronicity that began to happen. So much so that I can find a message and give you exactly what it was meant to tell you on a particular day. And I know I can do that. If you listen to a Wilhelm channeling session, you will hear that when I'm in that different dimension, I can answer any question. I can answer any question that you have. That's not going to mean you're going to do it. Not going to mean that it's going to break through the barriers that you've had in your limitation. But I'm telling you that there are no limitations that exist only in your thinking. I'm going to read you the message for June 17th because I received this guidance beforehand. And this is something that I want people to understand because we all do the same thing. There's a level of consciousness that we can each access within ourselves at a particular time, but there's also a collective consciousness, meaning what is available in the world, what we thought was possible. The work that I've been given, it's given me the ability to do things that people thought that's not possible. And I'm telling you that they are because I've lived them. So you just have to work through the barriers that are within you that tell you you can't do something. But this is the message, and it will make a lot of sense for you now. And I'm giving you to you today because I can sense that there'll be a need on the 17th to up level our understanding and energy a bit more because we put that into the world. Your life was never a mistake. And we also mean anything you might have done in your past that you labeled an error, and anything that is before you now that you believe might be a mistake. Those thoughts are limitations you have held, which is also the reason for our live conversation tomorrow. Every soul is born onto the physical plane at the perfect time in their evolutionary journey and at the right time trajectory of your planet. You chose to live during the restructuring of your world, which is the most critical lifetime you will have, and it means your contribution is immeasurable. You are in a state of continual evolution. That process will always involve gaining greater awareness of who you are, and that could only be accomplished through the experiences you have had and the circumstances you allowed yourself to be in. All of them were meaningful for you and your world. And it is that you only come to recognize that later in your life. We have been guiding you to remember it now. Our messenger believed he made a mistake in the description of our talk tomorrow, as a friend pointed it out. But he will see that was not a mistake either. We offered him an experience to move beyond his belief in mistakes, shame, and embarrassment, to recognize that everything is a growth in consciousness, especially when you can stop judging yourself. You will also notice you stop judging others as much, and your role in this planetary ascension will be heightened. You will understand more tomorrow, but you will be fine. And I'm going to leave a link to that channeling session, and it was a great one. And it was done on the 20th of the 18th, sorry, of June last year. It was also a full moon. I receive energy, and they're more impactful when the planets are moving, when there's energy happening. That's when I get greater access. However, it's a long session, but I'll leave it here because I want you to hear it, because you will hear so many questions answered for you, meaning there were people in the audience who were asking a lot of questions about what they were moving through, what was happening in the world, and Wilhelm answered all of them. And I can tell you this, I've been given all the answers, and that seems really kind of too much to say, but it's been proven. And you'll hear people at the end of the session who have already done this work talking about what's happening. And so now what I've done, and you can check it out whenever you're ready, because there's no reason for you to ever be in fear or to suffer or not to reach the kind of success you could have. I don't care who you are, where you are in your life, this work takes you to the higher state of understanding. And that's what you just begin to discover. And now anyone can afford it. So, my goal forever was to try to find a way to give people something that they could own forever, that would give them the ability to continually ascend to a higher state, to progress, because you don't stop. It's always something more. And I discovered that 30 some years ago when I'm coaching a billionaire, because we think many times it's about the money. It's never that. It's something within you that wants to be fulfilled. And when you do that, then everything comes into your life and you start to experience miraculous things happening. And I can say these things because I know, because I've experienced them. And the last thing that I had to do was to own myself. That is what we each are doing. I just happen to create a guide. And now that I know that it works, I can give it to everyone. There are no limits to what you can achieve, create, manifest in your life, except the ones that you set for yourself. And I can say that because I know I've done many of them. But then again, you will understand even that was not a mistake, because I could have never brought through this work unless I had screwed up everything. And now no one has to, especially you. See you soon.